What's good, everybody? We back for another OG edition with my eye. Well, it's the O. Is it just the O or the G? Which one we gonna be, Dutch?
Well, we'll be the G. We'll be the G. They could be the O.
Yeah, I think you got the O on Wednesday, so now y'all get the G right here. But we got a nice 9 piece. Bobano should tap in at some point, very soon, and we'll roll like we always do. So, Dutch, it's good to be back here with you. How's everything with you?
The NBA is a hell of a drug. And you looking at the plugs. Yeah, man. It's good to be back. Ski. I had a couple things going Wednesday. Couldn't hit the rotation. And then yesterday, obviously, we don't go live. So the NBA, man, ups and downs. Frustrating. It's a little frustrating, I'm not gonna lie to you. Took yesterday off, just hit the refresh button, just to clear the mind, little recovery mode, and new month, new money, right? And that's what it's going to be. Would love October to be a little bit more profitable, but I believe November will make up for it. So I'm looking forward to the day. And you said it, man. We got a 9 piece on the menu, so we better eat.
Yeah, look, we gotta eat, and I'm with you, man. The last few days kind of told me up, so I'm trying to bounce back here for November for sure. We'll start off in rotation order, and that looks like Celtics and Hornets. This one opened up Celtics -11. They're now 10.5 point favorites, and the total hasn't really moved. It's at well, actually, yeah, it opened 233. It's still at 233. Maybe it went down earlier and came back up. Horford and Porzingis will be out for Boston. For the Hornets, they could get Brandon Miller back in there. He's game time decision. They'll be without Daquan Jeffries and Mark Williams. This is the Celtics off of a loss, right? Also off of an overtime game. But it is early in the season, these overtimes, and they had a little bit of rest and stuff. So I'm not looking too much at that. But off of a loss, I would like to think that they come out here focused. And more than that, somebody who's had really good success versus this Hornets team is Jason Tatum. He's killed him the last like 7 times. So I was thinking his points at 28.5. But what you thinking, Dutch?
Yeah, man. I like what you're talking. Big shout out to our guys in the chat. Saturated, Daniel Ponce. I see you, my dude. James Bond in the building. Run up them likes. Hit that motherfucking like button like I'm hitting this lemon cherry gelato. Get you right where you need to be. Believe it. Yeah, this game, I believe Skee is one of these games like we had with the Warriors last time we talked, where we will see them play again tomorrow night. So it's a back-to-back in Boston. Excuse me, for Boston and Charlotte. Charlotte coming off handling business. I want to say they made it a little more difficult than it should have been against Toronto. They were up pretty nice, and then Toronto made a couple runs back. Our boy WAM Band coming through, wiping the crusties out. We
Y'all
missed Skee.
already, y'all already know. Y'all already know. Hey, but the cold part about it, I actually was here early. My son took my ball out my damn mouse, bro. So I'm looking for the damn ball around the house.
Low key, me and Skee talking off screen like, man, Bobano 20 minutes late, you sleepy, and he's hard out. I said, man, fuck a Friday, bro. Shit. Let the motherfucker chill then. None of y'all motherfuckers want to do it anyway. God damn it. Oh, shit. All right,
Nah, I
now
love
back
the
to
people.
business.
Nah, we love the people, man. We here, man. Beyond
Yes,
everything,
sir.
we still here, baby.
We this close to cut the plug on Friday, man. Monday through Wednesday sounds pretty nice. Hey, man,
Oh
but
my
no.
god.
Let's get back to business. Let's get back to business now. I'm looking at Boston here, coming off the OTL, came all the way back against Indiana, found a way to still get that game away, man. I thought they was gonna pull it out, but yeah, man, I like the team total over here. I liked it against Indiana. Might have got a little bit lucky there with the overtime, as it was a little slower pace at times. Boston couldn't buy a bucket at times. I don't see that to be the case. Every time they go down Tobacco Road, I mean, it's like college days again for our boy JT, as Skee mentioned. I mean, it's just buckets after buckets after buckets. Their first L, the first time they've tasted the L this year. I expect them to bounce back. Probably lay a 140 piece on these boys. So I think over 122.5 team total should be quite easy. These boys, we know what Charlotte is, man. They're gonna try to outscore you. They are allowing, let's see here, they're allowing 119 points a game. So right under 120. Boston gets you at 125 a game. I expect them to really play YMCA against these motherfuckers. Pick the number. And a lot of young kids led by LaMelo last night. So who knows what those little kids were doing last night on trick or treat night there in Charlotte, So give me Boston off a win to pick their number 122 over 122 and a half, excuse me. It's good money.
For some reason, it just never really registered to me where Charlotte is.
Okay.
But yeah.
Man,
This is making
home, man.
That's making sense to me now. I'm like, okay, I'm
What makes
connecting
it
dots
even
when you said
crazy,
that.
it's a basketball city, and you never really see that many Hornets fans. That's one thing that's kind of confusing to me. I don't never really run in Hornets fans, but another thing there. I don't know. Just a sidebar here, just as far as just to soften up the crowd. Now, y'all see they scared LaMelo with the damn clown, and he slapped the clown. Y'all ain't see that? If y'all did,
yeah, I did that.
Yeah,
Scary motherfucker.
Yeah, I seen it.
That was the longest slap I ever seen in my life, bro. He winded back and everything. But yeah, so to go in those first two games, just to confirm, did y'all do the Orlando game already? Y'all did the Orlando game?
This is the first game.
Oh, this is the first game. Oh, well, shit, man. Listen, man, backwood, bro. I ain't got nothing in here, man. We can keep it going, brother. We can keep it going. I'll give y'all some.
What's up? Hello from Santa Rosa. What's up?
We got the graphic on there. All right, we'll go over to New York and Detroit. This one opened up New York minus 7.5, 6.5 point favorites now. Total, it's on the rise right now, I think. Looks like it's bumping up to 218. And we have Towns, game time decision here tonight for New York. They'll still be without Achua and Robinson. And then for Detroit, Thompson and Clitman look like they're going to be out. I'll select this one to you here, Wham Bam. But the first thing that comes to mind for me is, the two-player props I'm looking at. It's usually one or the other. Is that the way you going in this game?
Yeah, I locked it in already. I did Jaden Ivey this time around. I do think both of them still are good money. It's just that we keep getting, the same 25, 26 range for Jaden Ivey. And, out of that one game where he scored, 12 points in the final game of that, in the final moments of that game, where if he was pretty much that same consistent or even that same type of usage, he would have went over that total in that game as well. So he would have went over every game. But in this particular game, I do think that this is a slower type style. This is a game that I expect this under to be in play, being that this is a 217, 218 total here. I do still believe that Jaden Ivey is, I think he's making his ways around the NBA, letting people know that I'm here to stay. And this is the front court. It's not, this is the back court for the Pistons. And I think that's kind of locked in there. So again, I do like Cade. Of course. And I just think that Jaden Ivey is just where I would rather go, just because it's a smaller number and he makes more threes than Cade. I think that his shot is a little bit more fluent. I know Cade probably get more looks than him, but he makes the most out of those opportunities that he gets. So give me Jaden Ivey over 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists. We're going right back to the well. We did cash it last show with me and Bobano. We're going right back to the well with it.
The Knicks aren't playing very fast. Neither are the Pistons. I was leaning towards under. I know, Dutch, you're not doing too much with the totals, but anything for you on Knicks and Pistons? You muted.
My fault. Yeah, man, nothing from the total perspective here, but I would expect it to be kind of somewhat of more of a grind fest. New York, they impressed me a little bit in Miami, but I don't know what's that to really say about Miami, though. Maybe that's a little bit more about Miami, to be quite honest with you. But, the Knicks, I think they're still trying to get it together. Shout out to Cat, though, the big bodega. I kind of like that. The big bodega. That's kind of dope. But he been playing nice, man. He been playing nice.
That's
coming
Big
out with
Purr.
What do you say?
That's the other name right there, the Big Purr.
The big meow, all that. Hey, man, why you gotta go there? If you got the big meow, you in trouble. All right, the big bodega. Shit, let's see. We get a little bit of everything from the bodega.
And he was on the Wolves saying that shit. Like, bro, that's a conflict of interest, bro. What are you talking about?
But definitely a big reason they went to the South Beach and handled business was because of Cat. So if he could continue to spread the court like that, knock down them threes, and play aggressively, obviously New York will be doing big things. But they're still trying to put it together. They is a little light on the bench. Shout out to McBride. I like him. I think this game though is tricky. I think a lot of people are going to be liking Detroit with the points at the crib, and they did handle business against Philadelphia, but this is the first game back. Only a 2-game road trip, but they do come back from traveling both games, and then 1 game at the crib Halloween night. I don't know how really they're gonna be focused in on this game. Now you got the Knicks, second game of a road trip, new team. Maybe they kind of Philly like rally mode, out on the road, maybe a little more focused. So I'm gonna stay away. I wanted to bet Detroit. But things to me, I could see maybe them getting shitted on in this game. So, and not to mention, it's been big brother, little brother. I mean, you can't even find the last time Detroit beat New York. I mean, it's 10 straight. Last I seen, I stopped looking after 10. I'm like, God damn. So, I do believe there could be some value with Detroit, but I would not be surprised if New York puts it on a team that I think they're clearly better than.
All right, let's move it on over to the next game. And that looks like this is the Orlando and Cleveland game. Open 6.5 for the Cavs is now 7 in total, right around the opener. For Orlando, we know they're without Paolo, and Batazdi is game time decision. For Cavaliers, same. I mean, Amani Bates has been out, Struess has been out, and then you have Porter game time decision. I mean, no Paolo. What are the Magic even gonna look like out there? Because all they do most of the time is just get the ball to him. So I don't know really what to expect here. I'm gonna go back to Wham because I feel like you be on a lot of these Magic games, but I know you usually bet on Paolo. So um, who's gonna step up with him out?
Yeah, you know what? The chat might know. The chat might know we've been cashing with this brother as well. Man, it's got to go back to the well with no Paulo as well. So shit, we was already not taking Paulo big Spurs as well. So I didn't take any of his prior oblique bets or anything. I just been locked in with Jalen Suggs. Jalen Suggs got paid in the offseason. Jalen Suggs had a great, phenomenal defensive game last game and still was able to get over the 14.5 points for us, got 17. He really tried to get us that dub at plus 280. Oh, man, I really hope he was going to get us there, but he didn't do it for us. But it's totally fine. I think we got the opportunity to get the 20 here. Now, going up against this Cleveland Cavaliers team that's pretty much been washing shit, I'm not really gonna give them too much on that Lakers. Like I said last show, you know what I'm saying? The Lakers playing Bronny, I could tell they was a serious bro about that game. So I'm not necessarily gonna give them mad credit for beating the Lakers on that one. I'm just gonna chalk that up to the game, basically. But in this game, I don't think it's no chalking up to the game, even without Paulo. I still think the Magic got a shot here. I still think the Magic got a shot here. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna take a lot from guys that haven't been really out producing. I haven't been really going crazy. Wendell Carter Jr., that top MF in here says, I do think he's going to have to step up. I think they got Franz Wagner questionable recently, but I think he did
Yeah,
get
he's had
announced.
an illness
Oh,
lately.
yeah. I think he said he's going to play though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, I don't like Franz Wagner. I ain't gonna lie, and that's the only person in my way in this game. I think, but I like Suggs all the way. So we did take over 15.5 points. We were getting it all the time at 14.5. They only moved it up 1 point since Paulo here, which is kind of strange. And honestly, y'all, this can't be the best play that we had with Suggs. We've been having better situations with him. So I'm not gonna say this is a A-grade best spot here for the Suggs, but it's just too much. Why not? You know what I mean? So I'm going here with Suggs again, over 15.5 points. And I am going to ladder it up to 20 still. I didn't know what that 20 is, but I am going to ladder it up to 20 there. But official play is over 15.5 points. We just need him to get 16.
all right. You're looking at his boy Suggs. Dutch, I have a feeling you don't want me to pass this to you.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna talk about it for a minute though. Let me holler at Jay Wills. Get his Cav spot in the building. Good to see you, Jay. Good to see you, my man. Gold Jew in the building. Mally Mal, Mark A. All the real ones. Good to see y'all, man. Good to see y'all. Run up them likes. Real quick. I think everyone's gonna go to the window with Orlando. And it's come on, man. The Cavs, they impressed me with the win in New York, and then they really impressed me by the ass thumping they put on the Lakers. Now maybe it is what it was, but I mean, god damn, they did let little Bronny score though. Shout out to him for getting his first 2 points. And but other than that, it was Cavalier from start to motherfucking finish. I'm not getting in their way. The Atkins, all this shit they got going on over there. Mitchell playing, Garland's playing like he was when WAM was giving them out every fucking day, before. So I'm staying away. I think Cleveland puts it on these boys. They do play Milwaukee tomorrow, so maybe first half. But yeah, no Banchero, no Pablo, no Bueno. Absolutely not. This boy's averaging 30 and damn near 10. He's a fucking beast. And their other stud is Wagner, who's beat the fuck up too, who played like shit against Chicago. So I'll stay off.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay off this game too. We can move it right along to Kings and Hawks. Opened up 4.5-point favorites for Dutch's favorite team. They're now 6.5-point favorite, and the total has gone up 1 point from 236 to 2. Or actually, no, it's sitting at 236.5 right now. As far as the injury report is concerned, Carter and Robinson out for Sacramento. For the Hawks, Cody Zeller. Is that DeAndre Hunter out? Dyson Daniels out? Kobe Buffkin out? Bogdanovich out? I mean, laundry list of players out for this Atlanta team. I'm going to come back to you, Dutch, for your favorite team. I'll say this. The Hawks don't play a lick of defense, and they like to play fast. Maybe sack team total or the full game over. Even though you've been kind of coming around a trade lately, I don't know. How you feeling about this one?
Yeah, man. Shout out to our guy Jermaine, and then also shout out to our guy Star Child, who was very correct last I was on. Said Sacramento would do dirt in Utah, and they did. They ran the motherfuckers out the gym. Maybe they do the same damn thing right here, but I couldn't help but to think when Skee, our boy, was saying he's out. Well, Dutch is fucking out of this motherfucker. Back with this bitch, goddamn it.
What's up? Local Santa Rosa. What's up?
Wham bam.
Yeah, so it's gonna be it's a lot of guys out, like you mentioned. It's a lot of dudes that's gonna be missing for this game. What I do want to take advantage of is the matchup discrepancy here, and I do think that there is a matchup discrepancy without no DeAndre Hunter, no Cody Zeller, some of the big guys that they are normally have. Of course, they got Capella. Of course, they got the kid from Chino Hills on the bench. They got the big bodies there, but do they have the finesse? I don't think so. You're going to need finesse against this big boy, Domantas Sabonis. His points, rebounds, and assists total is at 39.5. Since he's been as a King, he's went over this every time, except for the first game as a King, where he had 15, 13, and 7. Very close on getting it, but he didn't get there with that time. But in this game, bro, it's the only way I'm going. I think that the Sabonis is going to just be eating on the boards in this game. That's where I'm thinking that it's going to be really had at is boards and assists there, just going to straggle it around for us. So I like Sabonis over 39.5 points, rebounds, and assists. The only thing that I did lock in for this game, so that's pretty much it for me. But what I will say is I do think that the Hawks, being that they are at home, this may be a sneaky cover. I don't necessarily think that the Kings are one of those teams that's going to be blowing teams out. I think they're going to be in the games with everybody. So I'm not necessarily sure to go ahead and take the Kings here. I do think they are the better team in this game, but something's telling me that they're going to be hanging around, playing with their food here in this game. So I like the Hawks full game if I did have to make a free bet here. But other than that, it's going to be Domantas Sabonis over 39.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I think he gets over that pretty easy today.
All right, I don't think I'll be getting involved in that one. So we'll move it to Lakers and Raptors. Opened up Lakers -9. They're either 9 or 9.5, depending where you shop. The total, though, I was going up about 4 points to 232.5. Injury report, you did have AD probable. I think he'll be out there tonight. Koloko, Vanderbilt, and Christian Wood still all out for the Raptors. Still missing a few. Scotty Barnes, Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, all out. Quickly is doubtful, so wouldn't expect him either. And then Jacoby Walter is game time decision. Both of these teams, I really don't trust to play defense. I can understand why the total is going up, or at least Lakers haven't been playing great defense yet. And I think either team will be comfortable playing a little bit of tempo here. So I lean towards over, and I'm coming to WAM on this one because the more I think about it, the Lakers off 2 losses should be able to beat this team. Toronto's been scrappy. They've been scrappy and covering. But can we get the job done tonight? What you think, Wham Bam?
Hey man, y'all been seeing me talk about these Laker games every time I only say one particular name every time, and we're going up against one of the worst defense this time, at least giving us the 3-point defense. I've got to go back to Dalton Connect, man. Come on, bro. Last game he had 7 threes. If they was gonna let fucking Bronny score, they gonna let Dalton Connect get some shots up. So I'm not sure if Bronny's playing today. They haven't said necessarily anything. So I think they are coming in here with seriousness. They need to win and need to hold this team down. We know, like you said, the Raptors, they are giving up opponents, giving up points to opponents. And I do like that Dalton Connect is going to get a little bit more burn in this game. Even if they do schedule him around, I think that he's probably going to play in garbage time. I think the Lakers handle business here. Their bench is the problem with the Lakers, bro. Our bench is the problem. We're a good top-heavy team. The fact that our bench can't do shit, I think we're dead last in bench points so far. So there will be something that be had once we get Vanderbilt back, once we get some guys that's going to be in the rotation a little bit, so it's going to help them out. But Dalton Connect is going to be where it's at for me. I did take him at 1.5 threes at plus 164. Last game he had 2 for 7 attempts, so I'm going to rock back to the well with Dalton. I do think the Lakers win and smash. Big ass number though, bro. Like, come on, man. Do we trust the? I'll say this: if you do like the Lakers, split this thing up, bro. Split it up, trifecta spot. That's the only way I would do it. That way you at least win 2 out of 3. I think they are going to get in that first half.
Interesting. And while I'm looking at it, I mean, what has Toronto been lately? Let's see, they've been covering. So Toronto, they were just 6.5-point favorites. They were 8.5-point favorites. They were 15 versus Minnesota. They were 5.5. So if they've been covering all of these games, why would they still put this one up at 9.5? I think they putting it up for a reason, man. Dutch, you got the right hat on today. What you doing?
Yeah, man. Lucia says team total over or over for the game. Now, I'm gonna back with this motherfucker, and we can let our boy Bobano answer that.
Can have a good time.
You know, he's got the over, he's got the Toronto insight, but I'm not laying this.
What's up, local Santa Rosa? What's up?
Hey, shout out
There
to
it is.
Kylie Reynolds too. Prayers up for you and your family, bro. Bobano, good to see you. We went.
Yeah, I
through
show up and I
names.
hear screaming, so that's par for the course for me. Yeah.
Let us know what you think about this one, and then I guess the games before: Sacramento, Atlanta, Orlando, Cleveland, New York, Detroit, Boston, Charlotte.
Yeah, rapid fire. I think Charlotte's undervalued, but I'll tell you what, I don't love the idea of betting against Boston off a loss. So I don't think I'm going to get involved in that game. But like I said, I think you're going to be able to cash tickets with Charlotte this year when it's all set, especially in the underdog role. But I don't know if I'm going to step in front of Boston here. This feels like maybe, Boston first half off a loss, is usually something to consider. Lean to the over in that game a little bit, maybe Boston team total over. But I'm not involved in that game. I respect Charlotte more than the market does a little bit. New York and Detroit, Pistons have been a feisty dog. I don't mind taking a shot with them here. Detroit in the 6.5, 7 range. This is a New York Knicks team that now being asked to lay points on the road is not something I'm, rushing to do. Now they're off a nice win against Miami, bouncing back after the tough loss to Cleveland, but we're now putting them in the decent road favorite role. We'll see how they handle it. Detroit's covered 3 in a row. Yeah, I think Pistons could make this a game, quite honestly. So I am on Detroit there, plus 6.5, plus 7. Orlando, Cleveland, just an absolute blow for Orlando. Very unfortunate with Paolo Banchero going down, out indefinitely now. But here's a night where I'm considering the Magic here. That first game without him, we know that's often a spot where teams can step up. Now, I don't love the idea of going against Cleveland here. They're playing so good. So far this year, off to a phenomenal start. Their defense has been terrific, by the way. They've been stifling at that end of the basketball court. So it's not an easy ask to a 5-0 ATS team to go against them. Not just 5-0 straight up, but they have covered every game. They're off that blowout win against the Lakers. They got Milwaukee for a back-to-back on deck after this. But I could see Orlando rallying the troops first game without Banchero. A lot of teams do that. When they lose the star in the first game, they do step up. So I'm only going to bet this small because I really like the way Cleveland's going, and they've covered every number. But I will grab a small little piece of Orlando here now at plus 7.5. Sacramento, Atlanta, I like the over there. I don't trust either team defensively. Atlanta, look at Atlanta. You still can't lay points with the Atlanta Hawks. They lose twice to Washington. Everyone's, consensus worst team in the Eastern Conference this year, if not the NBA. And here's Atlanta losing to both of them. I actually agree with Sacramento taking the money. They're not the team I'm rushing to lay 6.5 on the road with either. And you're at least now getting Atlanta as a home dog. But man, it's tough to trust Atlanta with that defense. I just prefer points in that game. So give me the over. And then Lakers, Raptors. I'm going to go back to the same two bets that has worked for me with this Raptors team. The other team total over and the full game over. I think they're both live in this game. I agree with the move up in the total. Toronto's playing blistering pace. I think after Chicago, Memphis, Toronto's not far behind in the pace department. They're playing fast. They're not playing great on defense. We saw that the other night against Charlotte. And the Lakers off that blowout loss to Cleveland at home. I think they step up. You could go -9 as well, but I just feel I like the team total over a little bit better because I think the Lakers will score. Defensively, we'll see. Look, the Raptors now, the last few games, they have scored, and their offense has been all right. So that's why I prefer the team total with the Lakers in case the Raptors put up points at home. So Lakers over 120.5. Team total is what I really like, and I like that full game over 232 as well.
All right, good stuff, Bobano. We'll roll right along. Next up, we'll go to Chicago and Brooklyn. Opened up Brooklyn -2. They're 1.5 point favorite right now. Total opened up 215.5 up to 226.5.
You don't see many flat out mistakes, flat out misses by the odds makers in a major professional league like the NBA. But 215.5 with this total was a flat out mistake. And that's why it's been hammered.
Yeah, I wish I could have got a piece of that 215.5, man. But what I did get a piece of, I went Giddy over 28.5 points, rebounds, and assists. 2 games without Lonzo so far, he's averaged 34. Went over this number in both. And if you just go back, a couple seasons ago when he was getting more minutes, he was getting 30 plus PRA too. So they've raised the number. I still don't think it's high enough. That's what I'm choosing to go with here. Wham Bam, you rocking with that prop?
I'm muted, bro.
Up muted.
Of course I'm muted. There. I like everything Chicago today. Starting off, man, we talked about it before the season. We expected this team to be a little bit undervalued here, and here they are. They're getting points against a Brooklyn Nets team that, yes, been playing a little bit above their heads. But in this game, I think they got it all the way wrong, bro. Not only did they get the damn side total wrong, not only did they get the total totally wrong, I think they got the side wrong too. It's just not that many love for the Chicago Bulls just as much as we do love the Bulls. And I'm all the way locked in with the Bulls. I know that they do not have Lonzo in this game. Obviously, I love Lonzo to be playing in this game for sure. Levine and Williams are also out. That is terrible. But the thing that's staring me down is that this number is not necessarily moving too much. And I mean, where is the defense going to come? Like, where's the defense going to come down low? Like, is it going to be Claxton to stop Vucevic? Is it going to be those guys? Like, what is this going to happen? Now, I know a lot of offense is going too. I just don't see it. I just don't see the Brooklyn Nets being able to beat this Bulls team. I just don't see it at all. So I did put my money where my mouth is. I got the Bulls money line at plus 110. That is my official play. I don't necessarily I think he's questionable right now, but I'm kind of anticipating Levine to be out, not playing in this game. So again, if he is in there, that's cool. I'm not thinking that he's going to be in there. So I like the Bulls all the way here. I think the Nets, I'm not really all the way sold on the Nets here. I'm not sold on them at all. So I'm going Nets. So I'm going Bulls all the way here, getting a world win, keeping us at a pretty good pace for this win total.
Dutch, what you thinking?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Smokey McLeod. Shout out to Kylie Reynolds. This game, I don't really need to bet this game, to be quite honest with you. It's an intriguing game, though. The Brooklyn Brooklyn's intriguing to watch. I think Bobano, says, they're pretty gritty. He's had a good little, talked about this team a little bit. And I like him, man. I like watching them play. Cam Thomas is fucking lights out, bro. That dude's lights out. They don't got no size. But Schroeder's playing out of his mind too. They're playing good, man. Schroeder playing with his chips. Schroeder is crazy. It's like he goes and plays for some team and does good. You put him on a good team, and then you're like, what the fuck's this guy doing? So he's balling right now. I know that, and he got a chip. And I don't know, man. I don't trust Chicago at all. I really don't. I just don't trust this team. I feel like as soon as I go to the window with them, they fugazi. So tough pass for me, but I'll be intrigued to see who comes out on top.
Bano, are you still going to take it at 226.5?
Well, the thing is, I didn't take it at 226.5. I took it at a better number than that. But I know what the question is. Do we bet it? Can we still bet it now at the current number at 226.5? What did I get at? Checking my book here. 224. So I didn't even get close to the best number either. But at least 224, a little bit better. I still like it. Bulls are fastest pace in the NBA. Now, they stayed under against Orlando. That game got into a slog. Got into a drag in the second half. It got close. That battle with and the Magic are a slow pace, very good defensive team, as we know. So I think that played a part in it. That's not Brooklyn. Brooklyn will go up and down the floor. Fernandez wants them to run. He's talked about that. He was a good hire, by the way, I think. Jordi Fernandez. He's been an assistant a few years. He coaches Canada's team, national basketball team right now. He did a great job with the Canadian team. So it's a nice hire. They're playing with great energy right now, great spirit. They're still not very good defensively, but they're scoring right now, and of course, led by Cam Thomas. I like what I'm seeing here from Brooklyn. I kind of with WAM, though. I still think Chicago's a little better team. I think a +1.5. I got a small bet on the Bulls here, but I like the over more. I certainly think we're going to see points. Nets are playing fast. Bulls play fast. Bulls got bogged down in a defensive slugfest with Orlando because they play slower pace half-court basketball, and they're an excellent defensive team. I think that played a part in that game staying under. I think we get back to up and down the court here over the total. A smaller bet for me on Chicago.
All right, let's move it on over to 3 more games left. Indiana and New Orleans opened up Pacers -2. They're 4.5-point favorites right now, and the total has come down about 4 points to 232.5. Nembhard and Turner, both game time decision for Indiana. And then for Pelicans, who's playing? Murray's out, Murphy's out, McCollum's out, Herb Jones is out, Tice, Missy, and Hawkins all game time decision. This is a Pelicans team that has looked really, really bad and hasn't even played good competition versus a Pacers team who hasn't looked good. Let's play a lot better competition than what New Orleans has looked at. And I think might have found their swag back a little bit when they started to play with pace in that game versus Celtics. So I'll slide it back to you here, Bobano. I think the Pacers are the right side, and I think it would be Pacers are over. How are you viewing it?
Yeah, I'm with you on the side. The total is a little tricky because New Orleans, they've got a lot of injuries, a lot of offense out of the lineup. But you are going to get the pace pushed by Indiana. I prefer the side, though. I think Pacers, and you split it up. What you do with the Pacers when you bet them and you like them, or at least what I'm going to do, is because you never know with them defensively. Some games that defense shows up and they're holding their opponent to 110 or less. And then there's some games they kind of go through the motions. I like a split bet usually when I'm on Indiana. Spread and some team total over in my pocket. So that at least if they fail to cover, they often still go over their team total. That happened a lot last year with Indiana. There'd be some games they wouldn't cover, but they still go over their team total. So I'm going to do a split here. Indiana laying the points is a road favorite and their team total over in this game. The team total for Indiana right now is 118. They're just too depleted, New Orleans. They just are. There's too many injuries. They haven't played well, good at all. And obviously the injuries have taken their toll. The defense has been absolutely embarrassing at times in these last few games. 124, they get lit up by Golden State. Then the offense disappears in the second of the 2 games against the Warriors, and they only score 89. The Blazers are a feisty team. They should not be hanging 125 points on you and shooting almost 50% from the field against you. That's where New Orleans defensively is at right now. And the injuries certainly have made things worse. 0-4 against the spread their last 4 games. Indiana's trying to get on a bit of a run. They had lost 3 in a row. Big win against Boston the other night. You'd think maybe a letdown after that. I don't think so. you got to get wins going, string wins together, get some consistency going if you're Rick Carlisle's team. So I'm with you, Skee. Indiana laying the points. I also like their team total.
All right, I like to hear that, Dutch. Pelicanos ain't looking so good, man. No way you backing them tonight.
Nah, man, they're the Pelicans, man. They're the Pelicans now, bro. Fuck this team. Well, with the Pelicanos last year at the first half and all that, I don't even look that way. But shout out to Joey Skinner, man, a Pelicans season ticket holder, and he told us, man, just fade him. So I believe that's what we should do here. It looks a little too easy, but at least it ain't 3.5. At least it is 4.5. Hopefully by game time it goes up to 5. But yeah, man. I mean, Indiana, very impressive win against Boston. Boston came all the way back, found a way. Indiana's finding a way to do it with that bummy ass motherfucker playing point guard. So you know who we're talking about. I mean, this motherfucker think he's Steph Curry. More, man, he ain't even Seth Curry. God damn it, the way he be chucking that shit out there. He can pass the ball. Continue to do that, please. He had a big shot, and then he shot some other shot too. But he did have a big 2-pointer against that game in the Celtics. I will give him credit where credit's due. But god damn, he is troublesome to watch at times. But I do like Indiana here. I mean, it comes down to, like Skee said. I mean, what did the Pelicans have? Really, what did they have? First, they didn't even have any shooters besides CJ. Now they ain't got no shooter. He's gone. I mean, BI really all they got going. Zion, I'm sure ate a whole bag of candy last night, maybe 2. So I'm looking for the Pelicans to get shit on tonight. To be quite honest with you, I like Indiana.
When we did the show, WAM and I, on Wednesday, it was just him and I. A lot of people in the chat were worried about me taking Indiana against Boston, saying, oh, don't fade the Celtics. Well, they played their best game of the year by far. They were ready. They led wire to wire in that game. That's a good sign for Indiana, the way they played against Boston. That was a great game by them.
Yeah, that was a great call. And to be quite honest with you, I think Indiana's bench, can damn near compete with the starting 5 that they got right now. Indiana's deep as fuck, and they got shooters galore. So I expect them to handle business tonight. They haven't played that well, so they shouldn't just be fat and happy after beating Boston. They haven't looked that great this year. So let's look for them to continue off of that Boston win.
Wham Bam, you want a piece of this?
Yeah, I'm on the Pelicans. No way at all. I'm never going to be on the Pelicans. At this point, bro, you lose to 2 Steph Curry-less Golden State Warriors team. You don't got nobody on the team. We already talked to me and Bobano talked about this team too. This is one of the least mentally strong teams I think that was out there to start the season on. I think we don't have really a lot of good things to say about the Pelicans right now. Zion should be able to go crazy here. I would think he should be able to go crazy, but he hasn't shown us really a strong commitment, man. So I'm going to stay away from anything as far as props on their side. I did take one bet in this game. It's only the Pacers first half. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't take full game here. I was probably just waiting on you guys or anything. I don't have no reason why not to take the full game. I just took the first half -2 with the Pacers. Maybe I get in a little bit live here or take it now that you guys are all liking the Pacers. But you know how we've been lately, and since the start of our show, when we all like one thing, that's why I kind of don't even want to say the Pacers, just that way I don't jinx it. So I am on the first half. That's how I'm going to stick to it then. I'm going to just stick to that. That way we all can win.
He's taking a bullet for us. Wham is what he's saying right there. Yeah.
Hey, I did it last night too. I did it last night too. Skee, I did it last night too.
Yeah.
It's much appreciated.
I don't give a damn what you say. Jinxes when we're all on the same side. Screw that. I mean, who the hell's betting Pelicans right now in their current state? Really?
Mark said, he's talking to Joey Skinner. He said, you can still cash on those Pelicans, sell those tickets. All right, next game we got Denver and Minnesota. Opened up Minnesota -4.5. They're 4 right now. Total from 217.5. Consensus right now is 219.5. For the injury report, Aaron Gordon, game time decision. And then I don't even know how to say this name. I'm not gonna lie to you. Kansar. I don't even know how to say it.
Conchar, I think.
Conchar?
Yeah.
I've heard that now that I think about it. A lot of times I'm watching the games in the casino and I'm not hearing, you know what I'm saying? So Minnesota, nobody on the injury report there. I'll ask you. I'm gonna go to you, Dutch. Nuggets, I could shit on both of these teams all night. Nuggets look bad. Wolves look bad. Who looks the least bad? Who is there anybody you could roll with in this one, Dutchy?
Yeah, man. I honestly think Minnesota at the crib is a bet on spot right here. Minnesota look bad, but they look bad to Luka, man. Come on, man. I mean, he can make a lot of motherfuckers look bad, and Kyrie too. Got in his bag a little bit. That happens with Uncle Drew. But I like what I see out of Minnesota. To be quite honest with you, a little bit more, definitely than what I'm seeing out of Denver. Denver has absolutely no bench, and when you're playing 2 overtime games, traveling from Toronto to Brooklyn, and then now you playing here in Minnesota. I mean, that with a team with no bench, I mean, I don't give a fuck who you playing. I mean, who you starting. I really want to fade you, to be quite honest with you, in a regular season game. Now you get Minnesota off a loss where they know they should, they didn't really show up. Like, they had them from the start. Ant showed out in that first quarter, I believe, had 5 threes. And they probably could have stepped on their throat because Luka was having a bad shooting performance in that first half. And the role players kept them in the game, and then they just pulled away, and it really wasn't close in that second half. I think Minnesota might have crept around a little late, but Luka had something to say about that finally. But at the end of the day, this is one game. You could say, "Oh, Denver's pissed off from what happened last year." I don't think Denver gives a fuck about that. Well, they might give a fuck about it at the crib in Denver, where Minnesota went in there and got a couple. Outside of that, I think Minnesota is clearly a better basketball team right now. And you got a Denver team that should be tired. I know it's early, but 2 overtime games with travel going to Minnesota against a team who's going to play defense. As long as Randall, doesn't shoot us out the game, I'm with Minnesota here. I'll lay the 4.
All right, just we still making okay time. Got about 9 minutes left. I have nothing on this game. I'm gonna pass it to you, Wambam.
I mean, it's the first time the Nuggets been a underdog, so we don't necessarily know them in this role. So I don't necessarily want to go ahead and just jump right here and say, hey, they're gonna get smoked by these boys. They're 0-4 for sure, ATS to start the year, but they've been favorites every game except for today. So I kind of go in there and thinking of what our guy Mark is saying, I believe top 20 Louisiana. I think Jokic is gonna go crazy as if the AD did against Gobert. I think he easily can go crazy here. They're gonna need him. I do see that there is a probable tag with Aaron Gordon, so that is good news there for them. I don't know. I just don't want to go and jump on a team. I mean, whatever the favorite is on these guys, I think that's where we're going to go. Wherever the favorite, we're just going to go opposite of favorite. So I'd rather go the Nuggets here just because they're laying points. And I think that Jokic is the best player on the court. So get the best player on the court. Give me the Nuggets. I haven't locked this in, but that's the way I'm going once we get some wins out of Jaden Ivey and all those boys earlier today. I think this is going to be my play here is the Nuggets here. I think that we like them and Jokic tonight.
Bobano.
Yeah, I'm going to take a small bet with Denver. Plus the points. I don't like what I'm seeing. What I like for Denver here is they've had 2 full days off now from those 2 exhausting overtime games back to back with Toronto and Brooklyn, and they haven't played great. I agree, and they have 0 bench. We've documented that repeatedly here, but I think this sets up well for them. And I'm not impressed with Minnesota either. They were life and death to beat Sacramento. They didn't play that great in that game. Their only other win was against Toronto, with the Raptors playing a back-to-back. I mean, so nothing Minnesota's done has really impressed me. No crunch time defense against Dallas the other night, letting the Mavericks just take over late, win that game. Lost to the Lakers in their opener. And no one's even brought this up yet. Now, again, it's not the only reason to bet something, but playoff revenge. West semifinal last year. Denver was up 3-2 in this series. They had 2 chances to end this series, and they blew it in Game 6 and in Game 7 at the house. That is a kick in the teeth for this Denver team. Letting a 3-2 lead slip away and losing 7 to the Timberwolves last year. I think you get Denver. You want to pick these spots where you think Denver is motivated and they're showing up and they're ready to play. I think tonight's that night. So do I love the form of either teams? No, but I'll take a shot with Denver here, +4.
I agree.
Good stuff, Bobano. Last game on the board. We'll go Thunder and Blazers. And I'll just say, I think this one, I want to bet under. I really do, because besides the pace, Both defenses have been playing well. We know how good the Thunder defense is. It's to be determined if the Blazers can keep it up. And both defense is better than the offense. They're combined, I think, 9-0 or something like that to the first half under. First half, like you can get a 113 at circa. That's what I'm liking right now for this game. I worry though, because the Blazers turn the ball over so much that Thunder can get out in transition and that could blow up the under. So I was thinking Portland team total under 2. Bobano, any thoughts on those? How you view this game?
Yeah, it's a question of focus for me with OKC. They can win this game by whatever margin they want. They're capable of it. But we've seen a couple of times where just on a couple of occasions, it's been some lethargic play. Even the San Antonio game, I got a push on it at -12. They won by 12. There'd be times when they were just blowing San Antonio off the floor and they got up by 20. And then the next thing you know, they fall asleep for a couple minutes, 10-2 San Antonio run, and they cut the lead down. It could be something like that tonight against Portland. They know they're the better team. They can win this game by margin, but is the focus going to be there? I'm certainly not betting against the Thunder. That is for sure. And I'm with Skee. I think if you're going to look at the total, look at the under. Drew likes the first half on Oklahoma City. And I will say, I think in the 2 road games they've played so far, they've cashed in the first half in both of them. So the first half might be the better option here if you like OKC.
First half spread?
First half spread, yep.
Okay. Either one of you guys go for it. Wham Bam Dutch.
Quickly, just to make question here, Skee. I know you've been on it. This is like all year. They're 4-1 ATS. I did cash them last show. Blazers in the first quarter. I don't like that turnover described the way you described.
That's why I didn't take it.
And that shit does sound like that. Maybe the reason there. And OKC is 3-1 ATS in the first quarter. So that's the only thing I had here is maybe going back to the well with that. But other than that, it's a backwood.
Worth noting, too, for the Thunder, this is the front end of a back-to-back for them. They're at the brand-new Intuit Dome against the Clippers tomorrow night.
Dutch?
I'm good.
All right, so we'll move it on over to best bet. I didn't even put the graphic up. That's how much of a rush I guess we in right now.
Straight to the point, yeah.
Yeah, straight to the point.
He said a hard out. I won. I'm trying to help him out.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Move over to best bets. And like we always do, I'll slide it to my guy Wham Bam first. Let the people know it's the best way to get paid.
Man, I think our guy, I think Frank Nitty stole it from me, man. Jalen Suggs over 15.5 points. Best bet for me, man. We got to keep going to what was been cashing for us. I do like Dalton Connect over 1.5 and Jaden Ivey just as much. So, pick your poisons there, but we're going to go back to what's already been paying us. Jalen Suggs over 15.5 points.
All right, good stuff from Wham Bam. Bobano up next. Let the people know how to get to the window.
All right, best bet. Let's see what we can find here. Let's go Lakers team total. I like it. Over 120.5. I had Charlotte team total over against. I've had a lot of teams over their team total against the Raptors this year. We've won more than we've lost with them. I think we cashed this one tonight. LA Lakers bounce back spot over 120.5 team total against Toronto. Best bet.
Like it. For myself, I'll go with Josh Kitty, whatever you want to call him, over
Diddy.
28.5. Diddy, 28.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Lonzo, there's a lot more opportunities for him to do everything. And like I said before, he's wanted this opportunity to, be in that role, and he's taking advantage. So I'll take him once again over the 28.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Last but not least, my guy Dutchy. Let the people know what the freshest look of the day is and take us home.
Yeah, man. I can't lie, Skee. You liking that Giddy guy a little too much, man. He's starting to worry me, bro. Starting to worry me, man. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. In the freshest look, man. Hey, shit, man. We're going to Tobacco Road. And the Celtics will be smoking all motherfucking night long. Believe it. We're going over 122.5 team total. It's good money. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the motherfucking video. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed, and let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.